wet.
Cool! I know! Isn't this great, boys?
What have you done?
Does my butt look big? Be honest, Lois, even if it hurts.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Calm down, Lois. It's the only way Fox could get us into the night open.
Oh, hell.
You two are sick. Hello, we're cartoons.
Silence, boy genius! It's all part of Animation Domination. It's brand new episodes of King of the Hill, Malcolm, The Simpsons, The Return of Family Guy, and the premiere of American Dad. Animation Domination starts now on Fox.
Yes, my favorite Fox cartoon, Malcolm in the Middle. But yes, welcome everybody, happy Sunday. If you could hear me clearly and see me clearly, make sure you confirm that you are clocking in, like you have a punch clock. Press F in the chat or any special emoji you want. And we're gonna begin things started. And I'm gonna be welcoming everybody who is here thus far. Daniel, nice to have you. Yes, I know you're relieved, Inky. Nice to have you. I know you're relieved that the stream is finally started. And UTV, nice to have you. Oh, and Albert 3000, hey, what's up? I may be wrong, but I think you took a break from YouTube. And if so, then I hope you had a good break. Nice to have you again. Yes, and A Guy, nice to have you as well. Okay, so everybody is hearing me just fine and seeing me just fine as well. Thank you for the confirmation. So yes, you guys have been waiting for almost a month for this, like some weeks. But yeah, this is the stream to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Fox's Animation Domination Sunday block. And of course, I had to celebrate it on a Sunday. And SpongeBoy, yes, nice to have you here. And Ethan Parton Studios, yes, always nice to have you guys here. Oh, and Luke, nice to have you. Oh, what a day. Maybe the headlines will cheer me up. Can we get to drawings already? Oh, yes. Actually, no, not just yet, SpongeBoy. I have to establish some context. So, the stream, which is, like I mentioned, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Fox's Animation Domination block, or just Fox Animation in general, their animated sitcoms. I asked you guys in the community tab to leave your suggestions for characters that I should draw for the hashtag 6FanArts collage, similar to what I did for Nickelodeon's 45th anniversary last year. And obviously you guys gave some interesting suggestions that, as expected, it was kind of hard for me to choose. There was at least a few choices I had to sacrifice, but I'm sure you guys will be satisfied with the choices, the 6 choices that I have gotten in store. Of course, I already confirmed one of them in the community tab, which I'll remind you of once we get there. And let's see. Oh my god, yes, you're referencing the Angry Dad episode of The Simpsons. Yes, that's one of my favorites of like the early 2000s episodes. So yes, and speaking of The Simpsons, yes, before we get started with the fun, there are a couple of unfortunate passings that I need to acknowledge that are pertaining to Fox cartoons. Firstly, we got Alf Clausen, who was the composer of The Simpsons and the critic. For The Simpsons, he started with season 2. A great first impression with one of the iconic episodes of that season, the very first Treehouse of Horror, and he was the composer of the series for all of the best seasons, taken over from Richard Gibbs from season 1, I think, and he unfortunately left the show on bad terms around 2017, I believe. But his music, the charm of his composing of the series, whether it's just the background score or the musical numbers, like the charm of Alf Clausen's work will live on. Yes, so rest in peace to him. And of course, I can't go without mentioning a more recent passing, which is Jonathan Joss, who was the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill. And yeah, this news came out not too long after we got the exciting news of King of the Hill's revival, with the new intro, seeing how the characters have changed, Bobby's grown up, for example. But then we have the voice of John Redcorn sadly being killed. And yeah, that was very unfortunate, not a good way to start off Pride Month for sure. And I was able to watch some episodes of King of the Hill of some that prominent way, as to say, feature John Redcorn, including Peggy's headache from season 2 or 3, the one where Peggy finds out about Dale's wife Nancy and her affair with John Redcorn. And if you're subscribed to Baby One Creations, you should see the tribute that he did, because, you know, if you watch King of the Hill, you know there is this love triangle between Dale and Nancy and John Redcorn, but in it, Simon was able to edit in a scene with Dale and John Redcorn, you know, making peace while they're in heaven, because, you know, that also leads me to, like, some bittersweet news that Toby Huss is going to be the voice of Dale in the revival, replacing Johnny Hardwick. Yeah, that's the bittersweet part. It reminds us that Johnny Hardwick is no longer with us. But yes, rest in peace to the King of the Hill stars that we have lost. That's a really good show, and I'm excited for the revival. Okay, let me catch up with some comments here. Oh, okay, Buffy Felton's gone already. Yes, you take care of yourself, buddy. Oh my gosh, yes, Inky. It's your birthday today. Oh my god, you know, I had a feeling that it might be your birthday. It might be, but thanks for confirming. It is your birthday today, Inky. I hope you have a good one. I don't know, maybe if we have time, I might do Bart as a request for you, as a birthday request. And if not, I have something else that I want to mention. I noticed that, you know, this is the first time that I'm doing live streams since I came back to the YouTube Partner Program. And I see that you're able to have a goal here with Super Chats. For example, let me see if I could do an example right now. Yeah, I'm gonna start off simple since this is just a test. If we get at least one Super Chat within this first hour, I will, let me see, I will sketch one more Fox character. Okay, let me see if I could confirm that. And yes, so yeah, if we get one more, if we get at least one super chat, I will do the one more Fox requests of your choice, depending on who gives the super chat. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna continue talking with you guys as we head forward to the characters that you requested for 6 fan arts. After this message.
Help!
No way.
I wasn't waiting for this!
Wow, great hugs. I can't believe you're really mine. You're a true gift from heaven.
Potato floor!
Animation Domination returns with the premiere of Duncanville.
Is this really happening?
Sunday, February 16th on Fox.
Yes, and welcome back everybody. Okay, so here are the 6 characters for this collage. As I confirmed in the community tab, I already have Troy McClure from The Simpsons. He was requested by Fran Barra, who's not here as far as I could tell, but I assume he really appreciates that I've accepted his requests for Troy McClure over here, as a tribute to both Phil Hartman and also Steve Papoon, who was the writer of his first episode, Homer vs. Lisa and the Eighth Commandment. And next we got my boy Cleveland Brown, killing 2 birds with 1 stone as he represents both Family Guy and The Cleveland Show. Speaking of Family Guy, let me just do something here. Yes, I have Stewie Griffin The Untold Story playing right now, which, as you may know, is not a real Family Guy movie. It's just 3 episodes stitched together, which is something that Lois herself pointed out. And we have Sally from Futurama. requested by SpongeBoy. I hope you love what I did with her so far. I know you really wanted me to draw her, and I think this might be the one opportunity I'll have to draw Sally for you. Well, only unless you committed me, of course. And who else do we have? We got Roger from American Dad. Several people mentioned Roger, I believe. Just like how there's more than one person who mentioned Cleveland. And one of them is Ethan Partington, who mentioned Roger. So I hope you love what I did with him so far, Ethan. You've been a great supporter. And we got Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers with his dead stare. Yes, I have to put emphasis on how the Bob's Burgers characters have a tendency to stare at you like with their tiny pupils, like while facing front on the camera. Several people mentioned Bob. And last but certainly not least, we have Sue Sezno, perhaps the biggest deep cut over here, from Sit Down Shut Up, which is a more obscure show, but recently I noticed it has been getting attention on Twitter thanks to some fan art that's been getting a lot of likes, and I think that's really cool because this show is pretty underrated, and Sue Sezno, she's the principal and one of my favorite characters on that show. She's voiced by Keane Thompson from Kenan and Kel, so that's a plus. She was technically requested by Casey. She thought Sue might not have been an acceptable choice because of how obscure Sit Down Shut Up is, but I'm like, no, it's okay, I'll draw her. And at least one other person said that anybody from Sit Down Shut Up should be on the collage. So yeah, hope you guys love my choices, and let me catch up with some comments because I'm gonna be focusing on Curran while I talk to you guys. Okay, let's see. Yes, exactly, SpongeBoy. Sit Down Shut Up, the character designs were done by Mo Willems, the famous children's book author, who created The Pigeon and Nuffle Bunny. Well, I personally best remember him for his work on Sesame Street and for creating Sheep in the Big City. Yeah, because of his reputation as a children's entertainer, he didn't really want to be associated with a raunchy cartoon like Sit Down Shut Up. Oh, Zig is here. Hey, welcome. And Nas T. Yeah, nice to have you guys here. And the Random Deeper. Yes. Okay, so, SpongeBoy is loving the Sally drawings so far. I'm glad you appreciate it. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was hoping that somebody would mention about Duncanville. I only saw one random episode of it on City TV. It didn't make too much of an impression on me. Oh, I just remember something. I should probably put on some music. I haven't put on some background music in a while. Let's see. Let me know if it's too loud or too soft with the volume. It's a soundtrack to the Simpsons arcade game, which I'm a fan of mostly because of its association with the Talkin' Simpsons podcast. And with that being said, let's get on with Troy McClure right here. There we go. Let's see. Alright, let's go. Oh, let's put on my reference footage. My reference photos, I should say. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so Daniel is able to hear the music just fine. That's good. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Let's see here. Oh, SpongeBoy mentioned about the kid-friendly stuff. Let me see. I'm trying to get context of what you're talking about here. Yeah, you're mentioning Mary Kay Bergman, and oh right, that's right. Yeah, I think you're comparing that to how Mo Willems didn't want to be publicly associated with Sit Down Shut Up. You're comparing it to how Mary Kay Bergman was doing voices on South Park, but she was doing kid-friendly stuff, so she had to be referred to under a pseudonym. Right, I believe that's what you're getting at. Alright, so Troy McClure, one of my favorite recurring guest characters on the series. And you see, the screenshot here is from my favorite episode with him, The Simpsons 138th episode spectacular, easily the best clip show on the series. But what I rewatched recently to remember Phil Hartman is his most prominent episode, aside from the clip show, is A Fist Called Selma, which is also from season 7. It's one where he marries Marge's sister Selma, like, mostly for, I believe it's mostly as a way to, like, settle any rumors about him and his attraction to fish or something. But yeah, it's a really good episode, and you might remember it for, the joke where, you know, he's in a movie starring the Muppets, and at that time, the Muppets, at least the Muppets Show Muppets weren't relevant, so that's why Bart and Lisa don't know what a Muppet is, even though I'm sure they will have seen them on Sesame Street though. And also has the funny parody of, what's it called? Planet of the Apes. Yeah, I love that scene. And another episode I watched that's prominently featuring Phil Hartman is the best one with Lionel Hutz. What is his name? What's it called? Martin Chain, yes, which is Lionel Hutz at his peak. I don't know if I ever watched it fully beforehand, aside from certain scenes. But I just love how it's just joke after joke with that one. It's a season 4 classic. And season 8 comment I'm missing. Let's see here. And yes, Troy McClure is also in Lisa the Vegetarian. Yes, I love that one. And I also love the episode in which it was his final appearance, Bart the Muzzer from season 10. And I believe that episode was dedicated to the memory of Phil Hartman. So another reason why I chose Troy is because, I don't know, while drawing one of the main Simpson family members would be cool, I think it'd be just as cool to go out of, like, the more, like, obvious examples of drawing the Simpson family members and draw one of the many, many supporting characters on the show. So yeah, there's a possibility that because of your dedication as a subscriber, Aki, I might be able to sketch Bart for you. And also, that goal is still active, like, if you want me to draw a character, whether it's Bart or not, just give a super chat and I'll be able to sketch it. Maybe not on this stream, maybe off stream, but, I don't know. I appreciate your support either way. Just get a... Yeah, I think the shade of red would be good for him. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be focusing on, like, the basics of coloring the characters. And, like, any fists and touches I'll do off stream. Okay, so, if Freya does make it to a stream or watch the replay, or sees, like, when I post the finalized collage, like, I hope he loves the finalized Troy McClure that he requested. Alright, so now I'm gonna be coloring Cleveland. So let's just pull up the reference footage, reference photo, damn it, right here. Let's see. There we go. Before I work on... Ah, darn. What just happened there? Yeah, before I work on Cleveland, let me see if there's any comments I'm missing. Yes, that's true. Phil Hartman would have been the voice of Zach Brannigan from Futurama, but they decided to have Billy West do the voice instead because he could do a decent Phil Hartman type voice, which made me ask. I remember around the time of the 25th death anniversary for Phil, I asked my Twitter followers, like, what would it be like if Billy West was the voice of Lionel Hutz or Troy McClure? And they were basically in amounted to, it's probably for the best that they leave Troy and Lionel, like, retired to pay respect to Phil Hartman. And yeah, I agree. See this ACLs. Nas T is saying that he's really been enjoying the recent Animation Domination shows like Crapopolis and Grimsburg and Housebroken, Universal Basic Guys, What's the Hearts, and Duncanville. Yeah, out of all those, I think I've seen Housebroken the most, like on Prime Video. It's the show about these pets, and the main dog is voiced by Phoebe from Friends. It's not a very memorable show, in my opinion. And Crapopolis, I know, is created by Dan Harmon, who's considered to be the good creator of Rick and Morty, aside, not just the Roy one. But I haven't seen that. And I mentioned earlier that I saw at least one episode of Duncanville, and I haven't seen Grimsburg or Universal Basic Guys or Bless the Hearts. With Bless the Hearts, I know it's kind of a spiritual successor to King of the Hill in a way, but I haven't seen it. But the teenage daughter character, I can't help but think that, I don't know if I'll get hate for this, but she looks like a human version of Jailbreak from the Emoji Movie. I swear to God, she kind of does. You know, she has the similar hairdo and the big beanie hat. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, Lucas asks, what's my favorite Disney movie from the experimental era? Oh, that's easy. Actually, no, it's not easy. No, yeah, it is. The Emperor's New Groove, for sure. I don't know how good it'd be fully if it was the Kingdom of the Sun vision that they had, but I'm glad they turned it into such a really good, unorthodox comedy in the Disney canon. And thank you for reminding me, Woke, because there are some commission specials I have to promote. Alright, so if you want me to draw Homer or Peter or Stan or Bob or any other of these like sitcom dads, that you can consider taking part in this commission special, in which you could buy a full color commission with or without add-ons of your favorite cartoon dad, and you'll be able to get a free greeting card based on the finished commission. And more relevant to the last comment that I just read from Luke, I have one that's inspired by the trending nature of Lilo and Stitch since the remake is out, where you can order a commission based on one of the 2000s experimental era Disney animation films. It can either be a full color commission or a rough doodle, as long as it's related to like the Disney animated canon films between Fantasia 2000 and Bolt. So yes, the link to my coffee page should be in the description. Oops, sorry, wrong scene. There we go. Let's see. My favorite character in Bob's Burgers, at least of the main family, has to be Louise, who's also my favorite role by Kristen Shaw. I don't know, it's kind of a split between her, Louise and Mabel from Gravity Falls. I like Gravity Falls way more than Bob's Burgers, but Mabel is a character that I kind of have mixed feelings about. Sometimes she's funny, other times she's a bit annoying, and I love how the comic story in that anthology graphic novel has a story that deconstructs Mabel's selflessness that people have been complaining about throughout the 2 seasons Gravity Falls lasted for. My thoughts on Ferngully, The Last Rainforest. It's okay. I might have to rewatch it. Robin Williams as the Batty. Oh, I know it's in That's Your Avatar at the moment. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, he's the best character in it, and I also like Tim Curry's character in it as well. And I kind of like the main fairy character, Krista, but otherwise not the most memorable animated movie from the 90s. Yeah, that's true. The dog from Housebroken is voiced by Lisa Kudrow, aka Phoebe from Friends. So let's see. Alright, so as we get into Cleveland, I'll answer your question, A guy. And yes, rest in peace, Robin Williams. Right, well, I do really like Mike Henry as the voice of Cleveland over here. I really love what his new voice actor, whose name I forgot at the moment, he's been doing really well with Cleveland, and just save him, auto-save him. Yeah, and it helps that he was already doing the voice of Cleveland for live streams, so the people behind Family Guy saw that, and they're like, yeah, we already have our new Cleveland, we didn't need to work too hard. Well, I don't know the exact auditioning process, but yeah, the new voice of Cleveland has been doing well. Although I think the best moments with Cleveland date back to when he was still voiced by Mike Henry. Whether it's the many times where Cleveland is in the bathtub, and then Peter shenanigans destroy his house, and then Cleveland falls down the bathtub. And let me see what else. Oh yeah, there's also the scene where he was dancing in the episode Play It Again, Brian. There are a lot of funny Cleveland moments, and the Cleveland show is very underrated in my opinion. I understand why people don't like it. They think it's a redundant show. They think it's just Family Guy but black. But I don't know, I still find it to be funny. And I remember when in the first episode of Family Guy to have Cleveland permanently return to the show after the Cleveland show was canceled. Like Peter, Quagmire, and Joe were just roasting the Cleveland show. It's like who's the show even for? And they're like, wow, you're really comparing the numbers that you did in the ratings to Bob's Burgers. Oh yeah, I have to rewatch more of the Cleveland show. I really like it. Are done with Cleveland. Yep, we are done with Cleveland. And before we move on to covering your request, SpongeBoy, let me catch up with some comments. Let's see. Yes, the Cleveland show, I agree. Like, it is a guilty pleasure. I don't know if I feel guilty about liking it. I'm open about liking the Cleveland show. But Cleveland was already a good character in Family Guy, but they just made him even funnier when he got his own show, even though people will argue that, I don't know, he's just kind of a clone of Peter. Oh, let's see if I have. Let's see, A Guy's accent, if I ever use Toon Boom for drawn and animated, and this is the Fire Alpaca. Oh yes, I absolutely have used Toon Boom for some animations in the past, and I should get back to using it for like little shorts. One of my favorite projects that I made with Toon Boom is the animation of Tinkerbell for my local remake for Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection from the 5th installment of Classic Logo Remake Party. Oh, right. Cleveland's new voice actor is Arif Zahir, if I'm saying that correctly. Right, Batty Koda, yeah, that's his full name. Yeah, again, he's like the best part of Ferngully. Oh crap. Oh wait, who's Jill Subbo again? She died last month. Can you remind me of who she is? Rest in peace to her. And to answer your question, SpongeBoy, what's my favorite episode of Captain Flamingo so far? I am not sure at the moment. And there are some good ones for sure. There are some good ones. I don't know, like, just one that kind of comes to my mind is, yeah, I forgot the name of it. You can remind me, but it's the one that features that scene where Captain Flamingo and Elizabeth are, you know, they're going into the elevator to catch Rutger's ball that was stuck up the high building, and just a series of gags that happen as they pass the different floors. I mean, that's one favorite episode. I'll have to recap my mind on the others, but I also like the one involving Tabitha's brother playing the drums wildly. Yeah, High and Flighty, that's what it's called. Thank you, SpongeBob. Oh yeah, Whack-A-Max is also a good one. I guess also any episode prominently featuring Owen Only's mom. Yes, Owen Only's mom is one of my obscure waifus. Hang on, let me just make sure that I have it. Yeah, I have my Simpsons playlist on the loop. Yeah, and if you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe for more streams like this. Okay, so, you know, I've already been running late with the stream, so yeah, we'll continue talking as I cover your request, SpongeBob, of Sally, who I know is one of your favorite minor characters on Futurama. And speaking of minor characters on the show, as some of you may know, for a birthday gift, sorry, forgot the reference for Sally, yep. For a birthday gift, I was able to get the Art of Futurama book, which I really love. It was worth the wait. But at the same time, I feel like there were some minor characters that they were missing, like in the section where they're showing the different sketches and full core models of the cast. Like, they were missing Morbo, for example, you know, the alien news reporter, and also, I think her name is Linda, who is the female human news correspondent next to Morbo. So yeah, those are two characters who were missing, and I didn't see Sally either, along with like the other orphans. But it's still a really good book nevertheless, and you can tell that it really emphasizes on the artistic side of making the series. Because there wasn't too much talk about like the writing process or even like the voice acting process. It's mostly about like what Rough Draft Studios was doing to visually bring the series to life. And I know that with the screenshot here that you sent me, SpongeBob, it's from the episode from the latest Hulu season that had Sally appear, right? One thing I should note, of course as you guys notice, Sally, she stands out in that she has an ear on her forehead, therefore she has 3 ears in total, and I typically don't draw like too much details on the ears on my default art style, unless I want to put emphasis on the ears, like if they're really big, for example. So with the ear on her forehead, I made sure that I draw a line over here. I made sure I drew a line over here to put that further emphasis that, yeah, that isn't ears, he has an extra one, because he is a mutant. Just like Weiwa. Oh, hang on. Let me fix. I think I forgot to close the gap for Sally's tongue. Let me fix that. Just fix that right now. There we go. And fix it right there. There we go. Okay. Okay, now her tongue should be good. It will be black like the rest of her mouth. Here we go. And let me fix this. There we go. And we'll just fix this little gap here. There we go. There we go. There we go. And now we draw her dress here. And there we have Sally. I hope now that she's fully covered, she is as cute as you wanted her to look, SpongeBoy. And now let me read some more comments. Let's see. Right, 50 Ways to Leave Your Liver. That's the name of the episode with Tabitha's brother play the drums really loudly. And yeah, Tabitha's glasses were disappeared for some reason. Let's see. Oh, okay, so he has some comments about the art book. Oh, sorry, Kristen, hey, what's up? Hope you're doing fine, pal. Yeah, so what you're saying, SpongeBoy, is, with the art book, the design of Sally is actually included in the third volume DVD containing Season 3, since the Cyber House Rules in which he debuted it is a Season 3 episode. And if I didn't know, the first 4 volumes, concept art for new characters, introduced or minor characters are included, predating the book. Right, I think I recall you mentioning that in the Twitter DMs as well, but I didn't really notice. T-Bone Smith, nice to have you as a new subscriber, and thank you for saying that my art has some talent behind it. See if there's anything else. Oh, any opinions on Kevin Michael Richardson as the voice of Dr. Hibbert on The Simpsons now? I haven't heard too much. I don't know, I don't watch The Simpsons as often as I used to, or like the new episodes specifically, but I do love Kevin Michael Richardson in general, and I'm a bit disappointed that Gantu is not in the new Willow and Stitch. I haven't seen the new Willow and Stitch, but I know that there's headlines that Gantu's not in it, which some people argue that maybe from a budget or storytelling perspective, it might not be too necessary, but I don't know. But yeah, with Kevin Michael Richardson as Dr. Hibbert, I might heard one clip of him, and he might sound really good in the role, I guess. But yeah, not too much I have to say because I don't watch The Simpsons like that anymore to really get acquainted with Dr. Hibbert, now being voiced by Kevin. Let's see. If there's anything else missing. Oh yeah, I heard about the Animation Domination games, Animation Throwdown, and Warped Kart Racers. Yeah, with Animation Throwdown, basically all of the major Fox cartoons, except for The Simpsons, because I guess it's too good for that game. I don't know, like, it's like a digital trading card game. I don't know, I think I've seen at least one Let's Play of it. Yeah, my thoughts on Pebble and the Penguin. I saw it once. It's another animated movie in which Tim Curry is one of the highlights. But I don't know, like it's more memorable for the fact that Don Bluth didn't like it to the point where he ended up being uncredited as the director. So that's the most I have to say about Pebble and the Penguin. Oh yes, you're welcome, Ethan. You're the one who requested, or rather commissioned me to draw Major Flake, who is the main character of a Cartoon Network pilot from the 2000s, from The Big Pig, which I was able to watch it while I was working on that doodle commission for you, and it's really good. It's Rob Paulson voicing the titular character who is a cereal mascot. I suppose that Major Flake Doodle in my community tab. So yeah, I hope you're gonna appreciate my Roger drawing once it's fully colored to Ethan. And my thoughts on the Simpsons guide, which is the Simpsons Family Guy crossover. I think I gave my thoughts on it before. I really liked it. I understand why people don't like it, especially if they're more of a Simpsons fan than a Family Guy fan, because it is a Family Guy episode first and foremost. But I enjoyed it, and the highlight for me, at least one of the highlights, is seeing like the similar characters between the Simpsons and Family Guy in the courtroom, and then, yeah, a spoiler for an over 10-year-old episode, Fred Flintstone happens to be the judge. As you know, Fred is like the first primetime animated sitcom dad, predated both Homer and Peter. And of course, the chicken fight is a highlight, and Roger actually makes a cameo like when Ken and Kodos make their cameo. And it was around that same time that American Dad was leaving Fox back in 2014, and we come full circle actually, because I heard American Dad is actually returned to Fox. I forgot exactly when, but yeah, it's interesting that they decided to bring it back because, I don't know, something about TBS not wanting to pay for the license for it. I don't remember the full details, but that's the basic idea I got, is that, I don't know, TBS doesn't really want American Dad anymore, so I guess it's going back home. I heard some people aren't too happy about this decision because it's like, that means Fox is going to be added more censorship to American Dad, just like during the earlier days, I guess, because in the TBS seasons, which I haven't watched much of, I know there's some things that they get away with. For example, they say the S word uncensored, because that's one of the pros of being on cable TV, I guess. So I'm already done with Roger. He's basically just 3 colors. He's mostly gray with white eyeballs and black pupils, so I'm already done with Roger. So I hope you love what I did with him, Ethan. And let me catch up with more comments. Now, let's see. If I'm going to color Major Flake, if I post it in the community tab, I don't know if Ethan is okay with it, since he did order it as a basic sketch commission. Like, if he's okay with it being colored or have it be uncolored like how it originally is, then it's up to him. And let's see. As SpongeBoy saying, you know what? It would be cool if I pair, like, it'd be cool if I pair my takes on Sally and Kirsten in the same drawing. I guess, but I don't know if it'd work, because with Sally over here, like, the entire layer of her is just like her upper half, like her head up until like the upper half over here. So I don't know if it logically work. I'll have to put an extra effort in like copying one half of the Sally layer and like erase the this part here and add like full body and have it be paired with Kirsten. I don't know. Maybe one of these days. If I'm bored, if I feel that spark, or if you commission me, then I'll do a fresh drawing with Sally and Kirsten from Captain Flamingo together. See if there's anything else that I missed. Let's see. Yeah, he's saying that with TBS, they shut down the scripting department, leading to a lot of original shows getting canceled. But American Dad has always been owned by Fox, which is also part of Disney, and not Warner Brothers, despite owning that network. Right, okay, so thanks for that extra clarification. Another good question, what's my thoughts on Don Bluth in general? I don't know, like, I have some respect for his work, like as a legendary animator, but at the same time, there's only so many movies from him that I say are great. There's like the first Land Before Time, and there's also Anastasia. Even then, with Anastasia, there are some things that are kind of boring. Like, it's kind of boring, like, by the time they arrive at France, and then it picks up towards the climax again. But yeah, Donald Bluth is somebody who I respect more than I enjoy his work, I guess. Now, he had more consistently good work at Disney. But of course, he left Disney for various reasons. And now we're gonna be drawing Bob. We got good old Bob Belcher. Oh, I forgot to put on my reference. Where's Bob? There he is. Let's see here. So yeah, like I mentioned, there's several people who requested Bob. And yeah, he is a good character. Not my favorite H. John Benjamin role. Like, I enjoy Coach McClure from Home Movies more, and I find his characters in O'Grady to be very underrated, especially Iris, the German exchange student. Well, it's hard not to find Bob iconic. Or with Archer, for that matter. I barely watch Archer. Not my cup of tea at the moment. Well, maybe one of these days I'll get into Archer. I mentioned in the community tab that Archer doesn't really qualify for being accepted into the collage because I'm mostly focused on sitcoms from the main Fox network and not like sister channels like FX. So even if somebody were to request that I draw Dick and Paul from the Dick and Paul Celebrity Special, if anybody had not heard of that show, then I wouldn't blame you. Then sorry, they wouldn't qualify. Wacky waving inflatable flaming arm tube man. A classic fake commercial from Family Guy. Oh, the one favorite fake commercial that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is fingernails for Cass, which is such an inane concept. Oh yeah, it's kind of like a parody of those commercials where you see where you're like, hey, bring me your jewelry and I'll give you Cass. But with this guy, it's fingernails for Cass. And they'll make a fort out of your fingernails. Just a lovably ridiculous idea from Family Guy. Oh, I recognize this track. Played from the Simpsons arcade soundtrack. It'll play on the Talking Simpsons podcast like whenever they're taking a break. And when they're returning from a break. Oh, I got to color Bob's eyes. Don't worry, I'm getting there, Bob. Color your dead-ass stare. There we go. Alright, so we got one more character to color, which is Sue Sezno. But before I do, I'm gonna be catching up with comments. Plus Boo, hey, welcome man. Nice to have you. Better late than never. And yes, so these are the characters who I've been working on. I have Troy McClure, Cleveland Brown, Sally from Futurama, and Roger, Bob Belcher, and I have Sue Sezno from Sit Down Shut Up, who I'm gonna be covering in just a moment. Yeah, nice to have you here, Plus Blue. And my thoughts on All Dogs Go to Heaven. Like I mentioned, with Don Bluth, not the biggest fan of his filmography, therefore All Dogs Go to Heaven is one of those movies that I know it has its fans, but each time I watch it I'm like, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. It's more memorable. I don't know. It's unfortunately more memorable for like the fact that it's the last voice acting role for the little girl who voiced Anne Marie and who's also the voice of Ducky from The Land Before Time. And no need for me to go into details on how C passed away very, very untimely. Oh, you're watching Big Trouble in Little China. Ah, that's cool, Plus Blue. And if I'm going to be covering the background, yeah, I will. And yeah, I do have in mind purple for Cleveland SpongeBob. I already had that in mind. Thank you. Yeah, I often like to, if I'm going for like a plain, solid card background, it's gonna be one that's related to the reference photo of which I'm getting the colors for the characters. So yeah, I'll see if I'll have time during this stream to color the characters, and if not, then... Yeah, I don't know, I think there's a possibility that after I cover Sue Sezno, I don't know, it's Inky's birthday, and he's been a really good dedicated subscriber, so if I have time, I'll color, or sorry, rather sketch, a quick doodle of Bart. So that being said, let's get back to Sue. So, Sit Down, Shut Up, like I mentioned earlier, it's a very short-lived show that recently got some attention from, on Twitter, because I see some fan art posted of it and it got lots of likes, and I think that's good, because I haven't seen every episode of this show, even though it's only 13 episodes. Yeah, I know, it's weird that there are these cartoons like Clone High and Missing Hill, and when like they have 13 episodes, and yet for some damn reason I haven't watched all of them, and I'm able to watch all 13 episodes of Baby Blues. With Baby Blues, it's also a Rough Draft Studios production, at least for 5 of the episodes, and Peter Avanzino, who is a director at Rough Draft, he worked on Sit Down, Shut Up, at least one episode, and he more prominently worked on Futurama and Drawn Together. And in an interview with the Talkin' Simpsons podcast, well, technically their sister podcast, Talkin' Futurama, Peter Avanzino was talking about how he worked on the infamous unaired season of Baby Blues. It's infamous because, well, it was never aired. It was mostly done. It just had some scenes in post-production to work on to finish, but they decided to scrap it because Warner Brothers basically wrote off the show for tax reasons. So yeah, that's something they've been doing like long before the days of David Zaslav, by the way. But yeah, Peter Avanzino says in that interview that he has at least animatics of the unaired season of Baby Blues, and from the sounds of it, he was very proud of working on it, and I'll blame him. That's a very underrated show as well. It's gonna be turning 25 years old soon. So, Sue Sezno is one of my favorite characters, but a character that I like slightly more than her is Stuart, who is the ditzy one of the main cast, voiced by Will Forte. And you know, it's funny how he's in both Sit Down, Shut Up and the Cleveland Show. He voices a character on the Cleveland Show too, and they both came out in 2009. And Stuart is a character who I think of whenever I think of Will Forte, actually. I mean, sometimes I do think of Abe Lincoln from Clone High, but Stuart, like, I don't know, just love that guy, especially in the scene in the Hurricane episode of, you know, I probably should have gotten a reference photo in which I have the exact color of her mouth. I don't know, probably just color it black, or maybe just color it red for now, and if not, I'll just fix it afterwards. But yeah, in the Hurricane episode, there's a scene where Stuart is giving Sue a gift, and there's a bunch of Looney Tunes and Tex Avery references, and I love that type of meta humor. And even Sue is saying, "This tune is not Looney." I shared that clip on Twitter recently, around the time that Sit Down Shut Up was kinda trending. And so, something that's also relevant to Sit Down Shut Up is that something that's relevant to Sit Down Shut Up and also to what I watched just recently is that the comedian who voices Helen, the librarian, she was also the voice of the mayor in Dogman. The DreamWorks movie Dogman that came out earlier this year. I was able to watch it on Prime just last night, and it's a really good movie. I don't know if it's exactly on par with the Captain Underpants movie, but it's really cute in its own right. I knew it would be a good, cute movie from when I saw the trailer. I don't know, let me know if you've seen Dogman. Just to see where, okay, so in the background, to see where Wallace is asking Chris for the names of the ladies from Sex and the City, and I think the one that Chris missed is Charlotte, who's played by the same woman who voices Miss Spider and Miss Spider Study Patch Friends, and I know there's some people who remember that show. So yeah, we got Sue Says No, saying her catchphrase, no. And yes, I'm gonna be using this color over here for her color, like in the collage. Let's see. Okay, I gotta catch up with some comments. And yeah, I should finish the first season of Clone High, and I haven't even watched the final HBO Max season yet. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing. And yeah, Sit Down Shut Up is technically produced by Adelaide Productions, but it's really Rough Draft Studios who worked on it. Adelaide Productions was mostly in name only. Let's see. Oh, I'm definitely aware of who Ralph Bakshi is, UTV. In fact, I watched Fritz the Cat, at least, I think last month or so. And it's a movie that I respect for its significance in adult animation, but, I don't know, it's kind of a mess, pacing-wise and writing-wise. It kind of doesn't make sense, kind of all over the place, and very dirty as well. Like, I mean, it's X-rated for a reason, but some parts I have to skip. Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not too crazy about Ralph Bakshi's work. He's like Don Bluth, and I have more respect for him, like, for his importance in animation history than I am a fan of his work itself. Although I do love what he did for TV animation. After all, it's his version of Mighty Mouse that inspired stuff like Ren and Stimpy to be a thing. And speaking of, yes, Peter Avancino was the director of one of my favorite episodes of the show, Steffi's Fan Club. And he talked about it in that same interview. Oh, right, Inky. I think I'll only have time to draw Bart for you, if I have the time. But yeah, I think I should get with current backgrounds, just simple backgrounds here. And wait, let's see how far I am this stream. Let's see. Oh, we're already an hour in. Maybe an hour and a half I'll go on for. We'll see. It depends on how you guys feel. Are you guys up for me to do a bonus Bart Doodle for Inky's birthday? Let me know. Yeah, so let me cover the characters over here. Okay. So, let me make a layer for the background color. Move the reference just a bit out of the way. And then make sure I know what I'm doing here. Alright. There we go. And now I'm gonna be coloring the background for Bob. Right, so with Bob's reference photo here, it's a transparent PNG that I just copy and pasted onto the canvas. So now I'm not gonna use it as like a black background. In fact, maybe I'll just keep it white. Just like how in the intro of Bob's Burgers, when we see the family make their appearances before like all the buildings come in. Oh, maybe I'll just leave it white as a reference to that. Let me know what you think. So I'll move on to Roger. I'll use this color here for his background. There we go. And yes, as you suggested, SpongeBob, even though it's something I kind of already had in mind, I'm going to be using purple for Cleveland's background. I think this white shade, or maybe this, I know this darker shade purple here is like the closest to Cleveland's hair here, so maybe I'll use that shade for his background. Oops, wrong layer. There we go. Now for his background. Oh, wait, I just realized something. Just realized that with Roger, I did use a separate layer for his background. Now, let's see, I'll probably have to start over again. Yeah, I think it's best that I just use like a separate background layer for Roger. So let me start over again with him. So, yes, move it here. Oh, I was not in the right folder. Get up here. There we go. So guys, if you're enjoying this stream so far, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe for more fun drawn streams like this. There you are. Okay, that should be better. Okay. Yes, that's better. Okay. Now we're gonna work on you quickly. Alright. Oops. Now with Sally, you said SpongeBob a greenish background, so that's what I'm going to do. Hope the other reference will. Yeah, now probably this green would do well. There we go. Okay, so let me make sure I do the same thing. Add a background layer in Sally's folder. There we go. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to Talkin' Simpsons. Yes, that's the Talkin' Simpsons podcast theme song. So like I mentioned, I mostly remember this soundtrack for that podcast. And for Troy McClure, I'm gonna be... Nope. There we go. Alright. Maybe I'll use the same pink background like from the Simpsons living room. Nope. Select it the wrong way again. There we go. Okay. Alright. And then like after stream I'll probably like added like extra details, like for example the names of the characters, but the bulk work is done here with this current now. And yeah, I hope you love what I've done so far. I know like some of you do. So I'm gonna catch up with some comments, and then I think I'll have time to do like a little sketch of Bart for you, Inky. Okay, so now T's love this so far. Yes, thank you. Oh, let's see. Yeah, because of your Captain Flamingo obsession, whenever you watch the Spider Sponge Boy, you know, the voices of Squirt and Simmer, you know, they're the same voices as Owen Oldley and Tabitha respectively. Yeah, I probably should rewatch that show. Let's see, anything else I missed it? Yeah, it's true. Like a lot of Canadian cartoons tend to use the same voice actors, so it makes a lot of sense. And yes, it also depends on the region, which is something that I kind of hinted at, or like in my review of King, that it depends on like the region. Like Toronto-based cartoons have a certain lineup of voice actors, and then Montreal voice actors, you know, they will work on like Montreal-based cartoons, and then Vancouver-based cartoons, like they'll have a certain group of voice actors. But sometimes they mix up, like with Captain Flamingo, Tabitha St. Germain, the voice of Captain Flamingo himself. He's mostly into Vancouver cartoons, but a lot of the voice cast is based in Ontario. Alright everybody, I think it's about time that I do a sketch of Bart, and I think I should get some reference footage. Why do I keep saying footage? It should be photo. But yes, as I prepare for the Bart Doodle, how about you watch this brief intermission?
Open sesame.
Hey, Joe, we're down the line, Butterfinger.
The last Butterfinger! Aha!
Simpson going deep.
Get a crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery burst in every bite of Butterfinger.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Alrighty. Okay, so, I don't know. Just quickly chose this random stock art of Bart. Let's put back on my music. Just want you to know that I'm not gonna be doing the exact pose, just something as inspiration. Even though I'm sure the Simpson family are so simple that I have to be confident in drawing them from memory. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick sketch for Bart. And I see you wrote a key, eat my swords, Selbyville. That seems like a random kind of out of context quote that probably has to have Bart say that. To shrink down the reference photo just a bit. There we go. Yeah, so I'm just improvising with this one reference photo of Bart. I should really draw Simpsons fan art more often, because of course it is one of my all-time favorite cartoons, and it is one that I take a lot of influence from for my own animation style, especially with the big eyes and the overbites. And when I was younger, I used to think just Mac Braden as like the brains behind the show's looks. But no, as I grow older, I appreciate like the actual animators who brought the show to life, because Mac Braden he's a cartoonist for sure, but you have to remember that there's a difference between a cartoonist and an animator. A cartoonist, you know, it's kind of broad of a definition. You could be a cartoonist, but you could just know how to do still illustrations or comic strips or gag cartoons with one panel. Whereas if you are an animator as well, you should know how to, at least the basic principles of bringing them to life. And yeah, Mac Braden's not really an animator. At most, he storyboards. Like back on the Tracy Ullman Show days when he was doing the shorts, he would storyboard the shorts with his rough doodles. And then people like David Silverman, Wes Archer, and Bill Cobb, it's really just free animators working at Klasky Csupo at the time. You know, they have actual animation training, and they will bring the shorts to life in all of their crude charm. I watched the shorts not too long ago. I was able to watch a whole compilation of the Tracy Ullman shorts of varying levels of video quality. I know Mac Braden's not too proud of them, but I think they should be available at least on Disney Plus, because they're still a part of Simpsons history. I don't know, maybe it's also because of, maybe there's also because of that lawsuit that Tracy Ullman filed, because she didn't like how the Simpsons were overshadowing like her show. Like she made the Simpsons famous with her sketch show, even though, let's be real, I dare you to raise your hand if you remember anything from the Tracy Ullman Show besides the Simpsons. I bet some of you don't even remember that Klasky Csupo did another series of cartoons, the one with that psychiatrist. Okay, I'm just rambling. I need to make sure that I have the right amount of Bart Spikes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, he's supposed to have 9. And that's one detail I make sure I remember about Bart, that he had 9 spikes, I should say, of hair. So yeah. So when I'm drawing the Simpsons characters, like, have in mind that I said be roots and cartoony, like how David Silverman was animated, or how Greg Vansel was animated, like in the Butterfingers commercial that I showed. And that was one of the first things that Rough Draft Studios did. And also Dan Haskett, he's the guy responsible for the scene where the babysitter bandit is telling Bart that they are going to watch that tape. And that episode recently turned 35. It was the first produced episode of the show, Some Enchanted Evening. Really, it's an episode that's more interesting for its production history than the episode itself, really. I think Simpsons Roasted on Open Fire was a much stronger episode to start the series off on. I'm really glad that was the first impression for The Simpsons on a half-hour slot. So yeah, just being kind of just improv in here. Maybe I'll clean it up and maybe even color it. It's just a very random doodle here. Okay, we'll catch up with some comments. Oh, the swing sod. Oh, maybe I should include the swing sod here. Yeah, David Silverman, I mentioned, is responsible for that one Simpsons publicity drive with the family all posing for the camera or just looking at the viewer, smiling, and then Bart is aiming his swing saw at the viewer. I really like that publicity art. Let's see. Yes, I forgot to mention about Kent Butterworth and Brad Bird. They're also important to the Simpsons' early years. Especially Brad Bird, since he was on the show for the first 9 seasons, and he was working with Krusty the Clown in particular. He directed the episode Krusty Gets Busted, the first real appearance of Sideshow Bob. I know he technically appeared in the Telltale Heart, but no, like that's an imposter. That's not my Sideshow Bob. And Ken Butterworth. He was the guy who directed. He was the original director of. Notification here. He was the original director of Some Enchanted Evening, but he was fired because Matt Groening thought that the show looks too cartoony, like kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon. Because that's his background. In fact, he worked on Mighty Mouse: The New Adventures, and I don't know. I sometimes feel sorry for Kent Butterworth because. He seems to get blamed for a lot of things. Like, he was also blamed when he was working on Ren and Stimpy. He was blamed for the episode Maroon, which was one of the free space episodes in season 1. He was blamed for the poor timing in it, and he was like, no, I never worked on it. So, I don't have the reference for his swing saw, even though I probably should get reference for swing saw. Just give me a moment here. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see if I can find a good reference photo. Like, I've seen the same one, like where the swing saw is like facing head on, but I kind of want it more to be like towards the side. So maybe just go with this reference. Give me a moment here. There we go. And move it over here. And yeah. In fact, I think I should probably flip it so that the swing saw backs the same direction as Bart is right now. So let me just fix that right now. So where's the... There we go. Yeah. And let me fix up that swing saw. Nope. There we go. Yeah, once again, I'm just focusing on working on a rough sketch, and I may be able to color it and so forth as a, if I have the time, we'll see. So, mark tool. Yeah, so draw a simple Y shape for the swing saw. Yeah, I'll catch up with more comments in a moment, because I'm sure you guys have some really interesting things to say. So yeah, there we go. And then there you go. And have it right here. So wait, let me check something here. Yeah, so I think with the goal that I set up, it was not met, but maybe next time. But yeah, you can remember to give me super chats or super stickers, or also tip me on coffee to show that extra support for my work. I really appreciate it. Since it's Inky's birthday, just doing this little Bart doodle as a complimentary. And I'm gonna fix up his arm so that'll make logical sense for like the pose that reference it. There we go. There we go. And then I'll fix up the left arm. Rearrange Bart's pose, rearrange Bart's position, and we're going to tilt Bart's head. Now, just to make sure Bart doesn't look too stiff with his pose in there. Go. Come on, Bart. Let's get your head there. There we go. Yep. Now I'm going to get back his left arm and going to fix it up based on the swing sauce position. So I hope you're loving what I'm doing with Bart so far, Inky. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, see, like, when I do this over here, that's to indicate that there's like a slight S curve going on here. That means there is like a curved line of action going on with this pose of Bart. So that means that there's some light going on here, kind of a dynamic pose, and for sure should be looking even better once it's cleaned up, but this is just a rough sketch. And then I'm just gonna have him say, "Eat my shorts." Shelby Phil. There we go. So yeah, I hope you're well by Bart's sketch, Inky. And now I'm gonna be catching up with some comments. I think I misspelled Selbyville. Hang on. Let me fix that. So there's an L, just one L around this area with Shelby. And remove the rest of these first few letters. Oh. And see how many there is in Ville. Let's see. Casey, hey, what's up? I'm not sure how soon you tuned into the stream, but I hope you loved what I did with Sue Sezno from Sit Down, Shut Up. That was technically a request of yours. And your question, who's my favorite Simpsons character of the main family? I don't know, a freeway tie between Homer and Bart and Lisa. As for the support characters, I don't know, there's just a lot to choose from with them. But yeah, I do like Groundskeeper Willie too, and also Lenny. Both Lenny and Carl are awesome. And Kirk Van Houten, Milhouse's dad, is I've always been fascinated by him. I mean, we're talking about the guy who sweeps in a race car after all. So yeah, those are among my favorite Simpsons characters. Like, there's so much to choose from. Oh, and Sideshow Bob is probably my favorite Simpsons villain, along with Mr. Burns. Okay, so... Oh, wait. I said add Bart's legs. Like Bart's saying to eat my shorts, but it looks like his legs were eaten. Wasted the lower half of it, so... Yeah, so let's just add that. There we go. So yeah, my rough doodle of Bart, which I think I'm gonna be cleaning up and so forth. But yeah, let me catch up with some comments, and then I'm gonna have to be wrapping up for the night. So, okay, let's see. If I seen Wild Pack, no, I haven't. I know that's the latest Nickelodeon cartoon, and I've seen at least one sneak peek of it, and it looks interesting. I think it's from one of the people who did The Wild House, right? Who is it? Is it Kyle Marshall? Excuse me, is it Kyle Marshall who did the show Wild Pack? Because I know he did another show called The Free Amigo Knots, which I recently tweeted. The Free Amigo Knots is aired on like I think it's aired on 5, because I was thinking of just Cartoon Network Canada, YTV, which was where it originated, and Disney Channel and Disney XD, but I forgot that it's technically 5. It's aired on Boomerang Canada as well. Like, why? Why is it so popular to be syndicated on all these different networks at once? 5 of them. And it's an okay show. I mean, the art style is distractingly similar to The Wild House, even though it's not even animated by the same studio, Jam Filled Entertainment, who animates The Wild House here in Canada. Yeah, let's see. Dr. Katz? Oh, right, you're talking about like the other Tracy Ullman cartoon Krusty Chupo did. It's not Dr. Katz, but I can never remember how to say the name of that psychiatrist. Yes, the Butterfinger commercials are indeed also, like I mentioned earlier. And fun fact, Milhouse debuted in one of them. Women of Troy, yeah, I rewatched that episode. Okay, yeah, Kyle Marshall is the creator of Wild Pack. Thanks for confirming, Daniel. Let's see his thing. Oh yeah, Bart hitting Homer with a chair, yeah. I've already made a reference to A Milhouse Divided, and that's another one of my favorite scenes in that episode. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be covering Bart off-screen Inky, but yeah, I hope you love what I did with him. And once again, I hope you love what I did with the collage, the main feature of the stream. Once again, I'll be adding the names and any other details that I might be missing, like off stream, because I'm already late as it is. So yes, we're gonna be wrapping up in a moment and catching up with some more comments. Alright, here we go. Yes, you're welcome, Inky. Hey Bart, why trade lunches? Yes, Milhouse's first words. Fun fact about him, he was designed by Matt Graydon and David Silverman. Like, they were working on some sort of concept involving some school kids that was pitched to be a show for ABC, and David Silverman said that it kind of turned into Recess. I don't know if he meant that literally, like they saw the concept art Matt Groening was doing, and they're like, yeah, Paul Germain, who did work on The Simpsons, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna turn this into like my show for Disney, Recess. So I'm not sure how literally David meant like how like those concept art was the basis for Recess, but yeah, that was interesting to know. Say the line, Bart. Say the line. I didn't do it. Yay! Yes. Oh, right, exactly. Eek the Cat is created by Bill Kopp, who I mentioned was one of the original animators on The Simpsons. And he also created Snookums and Meat Funny cartoon show, which I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's at least as good looking as a typical Ren and Stimpy episode. And Pat Ventura, yeah, he worked on that Third Pig episode from Tales from the Crypt. Not Tales from the Crypt Keeper, which is a fully animated series, but it's the live-action horror anthology that had an animated segment in it. And I don't think I've seen that episode yet, maybe just images of it, and it looks cool. Looks like type of stuff that I would enjoy, because I do like the works of Pat Ventura from What a Cartoon, and Bill Kopp. I still watch more episodes of Eek the Cat. I think the most that I've seen of it, of Eek the Cat is like when Rebel Taxi had a live stream, watching some old Halloween episodes of cartoons, and the Halloween episode of Eek the Cat was one of them. And yeah, I still watched that. And also David Silverman, going back to him, he did a segment called Clutter, as part of Eek Extravaganza when Eek the Cat was rebranded. And according to like one source I read, Clutter was made at Film Roman, which, you know, was the same place that animated The Simpsons, and they just canceled The Critic, so it's a lot of crew members from The Critic, including David himself, who worked on the Clutter segments. But then again, David's only contribution to The Critic was really just designing Jay Sherman, who a part of me wanted to draw him, but I'm like, yeah, I want to go with the more underrated show, Sit Down, Shut Up, instead. So sorry to all the Jay Sherman fans. Alright, everybody, so it's almost 9:30 where I'm at, so alright, he worked on the Horror of Shuffle music video, Pat Ventura. Yeah, I briefly talked about it in my review of the Opposites Attract music video. And I mentioned before that I ought to talk about the Horror of Shuffle in more detail. That's one of my favorite things from Ralph Bakshi, aside from Mighty Mouse The New Adventures. But yeah, folks, that's gonna be it for the stream. It's already almost 9:30 where I'm at, therefore it's getting late, so when I have time, I'll be finishing up the drawings that I worked on for the stream and post them in the community tab and my social media. And thank you guys so much for this great conversation that we had about the Fox cartoons that we all hold near and dear to our hearts. And as for the next stream, I don't know, like I hear the Kids' Choice Awards are coming up. Maybe that will be a stream, or maybe that will be like a video, like a pre-recorded video. I don't know, I'll let you guys decide. But yes, thank you all for watching, and make sure that you hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you're a newcomer watching the stream. Alright, I'm gonna be closing out. It is Sunday after all, still Sunday night, so I think there's still, if you have Fox, then you can probably watch whatever is on Fox right now, as far as the animation is concerned. So yeah, I'll let you do that, and take care of yourselves, have a great week.
Hey, Brian, can I have some wheat thins?
What?
Can I have some wheat thins?
They're wheat thins.
That's what I said, wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
What are you talking about? I'm just saying wheat thins.
Say wheat.
Wheat.
Now say wheat thins.
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 No, you can't have any.
Have any what? Have any wheat thins?
It's wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Can I be in your commercial?
No!